Bellers. How you doing today? Well, we're over here at my buddy Dave Bell's house. You guys seen him in other videos, like the last video of our first meeting. He's one of the original Model Car Mafia guys, and then you saw him back when we went to the 2018 IPMS Nationals here in Phoenix when I did that video. So I wanted to come over to his little laboratory here and look at the stuff that he makes. This guy builds really, really neat models, and we gotta take a look at these things. What do you see the stuff that's in this room? Dave, how long have you been building models?
Well, you know, I have built models when I was a kid. Then, of course, I got into the cars. Then I got into my wife. Just lost track of it.
Yeah.
And then one day I was kind of bored, and there was a little hobby shop down there by Metro Center.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember the name of it, but just for the hell of it, I stopped in there. I'm gonna say that, ain't I?
Yeah.
Okay. I stopped in there. I picked up a 40 Ford Coupe and supposedly a 34 Ford Coupe. The 34 Ford was supposed to be 1/25th scale. Mm-hmm. Not even close.
Yeah.
If you know the one I'm talking about.
Yep.
But what I done is, after I got over the big disappointment, I took the parts from the 34 Ford, put them into the 40 Ford, and it's the first model I built.
That white one right there?
That's cream color, and that's the same color as my street rod was.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because Dave had, for the longest time, like when I met him, he had this 40 Ford, cream-colored 40 Ford. It was nice. He got rid of it about 7 years ago, 6 years ago.
Yeah, 6 years ago now.
It was a car. He built it back in the 70s and took his family. You know, his kids grew up in that car. And
yeah, we raised our kids in that car.
It was a neat car.
Yeah.
I met Dave. This had to be in 94. Well, we were up in the St. John's
show.
That Springerville, I think it was show.
Right.
And I saw a model. Let's see if it's up here. There was
It's behind you.
Yes. There's a bright orange
39 Chevy converted to a 39 Buick.
It was bright orange, and I asked somebody, hey, who is this Dave Bell guy? And they pointed him out. That old guy over there. You were like
still an old guy.
Yeah, back then you were only in your 50s.
No, I was still an old guy then compared to you guys.
Yeah, and that's when I met Dave, and we've been through a lot of clubs together, and we've had a good time. We pedaled around for a lot of years.
We've had a lot of fun together.
A lot of fun. It
hasn't stopped.
Hasn't stopped.
No,
and now we got this new club, and we're having more fun.
We're going to go down that road again with this new group.
Yes, we are, definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
we're pretty excited.
I can see a lot of good times coming up.
Oh, me too. Yeah, like the old days. But he's such his model building that he does, he can't leave anything alone. You just can't leave it alone.
No.
He does not build out of the box. And some of the stuff I'm going to show you here in a minute, that it's just, well, if you watched the video that we did of our first model meeting last week, the first car that I'm zoomed up to was his creation, a Pacer with, what it was, a Pro Street Pacer.
Basically, I think it was more of a Pro Touring.
But it was totally fabricated chassis. You saw that engine, and that's his thing. He loves doing crazy engines. He loves messing with straight sixes and straight fours.
I have a couple to show you.
Yeah, we're gonna be looking at those. So let's we're gonna go take a look at these things. I mean, when do you see this? And we're gonna kind of look around his model room, and he's got a lot of built ups. So I'm gonna try to get as many in as possible, and it's a treat seeing some of this stuff. So we might as well just start off right here at the workbench and see what Dave's working on right now. And what is it? You got two different models going here. What do you got here?
Well, right now I'm starting a super modified with the offset engine.
This one right over here, huh?
Mm-hmm. And as you can see, I started with the front car frame, and most of these cars were real low slung, low to the ground, and this is where I'm at with the frame so far. I have a plan for the wing. I'm going to use the West Coast type wing with the adjusters.
Oh yeah.
So you can slide the wing back forth whichever way you want to go with it. But it's coming along. I got the motor mount set. I got my motor plate set.
Did you see all that scratch, Bill? And you can see the white there is, obviously not from the kit. And look how he integrates it right into the kit they started with.
The motor will sit right about like there.
Yeah,
And of course,
tilted.
Of course, the quick change will come through an in and out box, and that will sit right about in that area, and the rest is to come.
Yeah, that's some neat engineering. Look, you got yourself a little mock up there.
And then this is my, of course, they say you can't screw up a classic, but I'm trying my best with a 28 Lincoln touring car, which is going to be a street rod, of course. And my plan is to put the Lincoln V8 motor in it.
Oh yeah.
And I was going to put a 427 Ford with Lincoln valve covers. And I scrapped that idea. In the first place, I didn't have a 427 Ford block.
No.
But what I'd done was one of the old, I think it was the 27T from AMT, had a Lincoln motor in it. But the motor was just trashed. So I took the block and I completely gutted it. And
Yep, right there.
that's what we came up with from that old Lincoln. So I'm going to put this Lincoln engine in it with my valve covers and of course the oil filters up front and things of that nature. I decided to put the C4 transmission behind it, automatic. And just that general type of a thing.
But always being different.
And
it looks like you got a...
here's a scratch-built blower that
Oh, look at that.
I've been kind of working on.
Take a look at that.
And I'll tell you what I used for that. Screen door mesh.
No kidding.
From a screen door.
Oh wow, yes, I can sort of tell. Let's get it right about that. See, can you guys see that?
I can see it.
I can see it too. It looks great. That's screen door mesh. It looks like a blower. That's awesome.
But this is just the kind of thing that I enjoy doing that. I don't...
It spins your gears.
You know, I just like cutting them up.
Yeah, then that's what you do.
I do.
You do cut them up. Boy,
Yeah.
oh boy.
Now, sometimes putting them together can be a problem.
And I know that some of you see these pictures in the background when you watch my videos. Well, Dave drew these also. And I tell you, he is quite the artist. And check out all these car illustrations he drew. He is got the talent and got the eye about cars. And I just love this Fox body. That is so cool. So this little piece of artwork right here, you got a little story that you did here. What was this?
Well, that was my brother's 40 Chevy Coupe. It was a black one. And I had my 40 Ford sedan parked next to it. And when I took the picture, I noticed that the reflection of my car on his fender. So I just eliminated everything except his fender, part of the tire and wheel, and my 40 Ford into it.
2-in-1 shot.
Yeah, so that was me and my brother's street rods.
That's so cool. What a fantastic work of art. And just like all the rest of the stuff.
say, I just wanted to see what a Willys 5-window coupe would look like.
And that's what a Willys 5-window coupe would look like.
Yeah, and that's the one that Willys never made. And they should have.
What kit did you start with?
You know, I don't remember. I think it was a Masmanian kit
Oh yeah?
for one of those early kits.
And what did you use for the roof and all that?
That's the Willys. It's just been cut and then I extended it and filled it and all the good stuff. Now this one, like you say, I like doing oddballs. Mm-hmm. So it has a V6 in it. But it's a Hemi V6.
Of course it's a Hemi V6.
And that's what a Hemi V6 might look like if they ever made a Hemi V6.
Well, Dave made a Hemi V6. What? See what I'm saying? How he just likes doing unique stuff. Everything's always just so, you know, just out of his head. So what's the story with this?
Well, this was when we did the original model Car Mafia. Mm-hmm. And if you remember, we had a project of doing car haulers.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So this is a 40 Ford sedan delivery converted into a fifth wheel car hauler. And I have the trailer in the other case down there at the bottom.
You too. Bye.
And then I also put the Y-block 312 motor in it.
Oh yeah. How neat is that? With the Thunderbirds on the valve covers.
Right. And I believe that's out of the 57 T-Bird kit, if I'm not mistaken.
What a neat looking street rod. Something different and unique. Oh look, and it's got the cab doors, the rear doors. So what do we got here?
Well, a friend of mine bought me a 40 Ford sedan delivery, and he says, "Here, smart ass, see what you can do with this one." So I told him, I said, "Well, come back in a year and I'll show you."
And did it take a year?
So anyway, this is what I wound up with. And just for the heck of it, I put a slant 4 flathead in it with a fuel injection.
And that's a total made up engine, just one of your
one of my crazy harebrained ideas.
One of your creations. That's what I love about your stuff. You got these really neat creations you come up with. That's a hot rod. That is one heck of a hot rod. Just creative work. And another thing that's completely different.
Another thing. What happened here? Well, it started out as it was going to be just a Jeep.
Yeah, well, just a Jeep.
Yeah, well, the razor saw got to me. And it's been, the front end's been extended, so it has a longer wheelbase. And it's basically a sand rail. And I just did some crazy things. I mounted a oil cooler up on the roll bar. And
oh yeah,
just things of that nature. And I put the Gremlin engine. You know, it has that V8 in it.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was another story. Anyways, I put the Gremlin engine, which I guess is supposed to be a 401. Anyway, that's where I am with that. And of course, you know, those air cleaners and injection kind of looks like a sprint car, don't they?
A little bit. I wonder if that's where you got that from.
Anyway, they just happened to fall on top of the motor.
Just happened to happen.
And I don't know how that happened, but crazy things happen in the world of model cars.
It does. Especially in the world of Dave's model cars. Now a Gremlin. What can you do with a Gremlin?
Well, I always liked road race type cars. And I said, you know, just to be different, let's do a Gremlin. And of course it's got a Chevy straight 6 in it. So that's what happened to the engine compartment from the Gremlin motor to the Jeep
Right.
to a Chevy pickup truck 6-cylinder into the Gremlin.
Whatever it takes, wherever it'll fit, right?
Oh, yeah.
And look at that, all that lower valence there that you all shaped and scratch built. And all the flares. I mean, there's a lot of custom body work on this.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Big time.
A little bit of a roof spoiler on it.
Yeah, look at that. Really nicely smoothed in spoiler. And
Yeah,
then
of
you
course,
got
just in
that
case
full
it gets stuck in the sand, there's the little pull out.
Oh yeah, we saw that. You got one there.
Yeah, and there should be one
over on the back.
somewhere. There.
Right over there. How neat. We're ready to race. And here's another creation. What do we got here?
Well, it started out as a rat rod, but I can't build a rat rod. I just have to have them shiny paint, and of course,
Yeah, look at that shiny paint.
the engine. A lot of people don't realize. Some guys pick up on it, but it's an old Ford four-banger with a 48 Ford conversion head.
Oh really?
So the head is basically from a 48 type Ford.
Unique. What a neat looking car. Like, what would this be? This be this be what they call the what do they call that? What's the car?
I'm be damned if I know.
I don't know why I had 29T in my head, but I don't know. I'm not good with the old stuff.
I believe this was a 27 Ford kit.
Okay.
27 Ford.
Look at those wheels.
The 5-window.
The wheels you got going here too. Yeah, that's hilarious. Just another unique one, huh? Here's one of my favorite trucks you done. What can you tell me about it?
Well, the frame is from the Opel kit. I think it was the fire truck they did.
Right, yeah, that Opel Blitz.
And then the cab and hood are from the, I think it was a 41 or 46 Chevy pickup truck.
Yeah, it was so you converted a pickup
The
truck.
front fenders have been lengthened, and of course they've been opened up. The fuel tanks, the saddle tank, basically started out as a PCV pipe.
Oh,
And that's the same PVC pipe that's on the big job.
oh yeah.
And the fifth wheel is scratch built. That's all scratch built. The springs and all that, suspension is all scratch built. And I put sanders on it.
Oh yeah. I remember when you were making that
stuff. It used to be
stuff.
popular way back a long time ago,
Yeah,
especially on the East Coast trucks.
Yeah, to get you traction in the snow.
Right, and they filled them up with sand. So I built some sanders and put some sanders on it.
How cool is that? But what's so neat about this is the kit bashing that you did. I remember when that Opel Blitz came out and you were excited about it and this was what you wanted to do.
That's what I wanted to do, and by Lord, there it is.
You sure did, and pulled it off, because it is just so neat looking on, capturing the era of trucking. And I know this kind of got other things happening. Well, what's under the hood there, first of all?
Well, of course, it's going to be a Chevy 6-cylinder.
No, of course. There we go with Dave and his Chevy straight sixes. Full detail. Just beautiful work. But the thing is this then spawned another idea, and that would be this was the next. So basically, after you got done with that Chevy that we just showed,
Yeah.
you started talking about this thing to me. I didn't know nothing about it. He kept calling me and telling me, big job, big job. What in the hell is a big job? Well, I learned a lot about the F8 big job.
And I found
this is just so cool.
A picture in one of the magazines that Ford actually built that cab, but
Yep.
they only did a very limited number.
Yeah, this
And then an aftermarket company came along and picked up on the cab, and they did a conversion body kit.
Yeah.
But that is supposed to represent the original Ford with the sleeper.
Right, yes. Now, the whole story on this is probably, what would you say, even the engine, and we'll get to that engine too. This thing has to be about 95% scratch built.
Oh, everything on that track is scratch built. Everything you see except for the hood is the only thing that has not been modified.
And the grill, which the grill was modified, so that doesn't count.
The grill has not been modified.
Oh, the grill's not been modified.
Fenders have been widened, opened up for the wheel wells.
But you started with the Revell 50
Ford pickup.
Ford F1
Yeah.
pickup. Even the frame, and then you took the frame. It was like this.
I cut the frame.
Cut the frame and extended it.
Right behind the fenders.
Oh, right.
So I kept that because of radiator support and front wheel location.
Right.
But everything from there back is all scratch built. And here again, the fuel tanks are PVC pipe.
Now the thing about this is where I come into play with this is I had my Dencon scaled resin company at the time. That's where we got that sticker on there. And Dave offered to, before he built the truck, everything that he scratch built was everything I made molds of. And there might be some of you out there that had purchased these and got that cab, got the modified fenders, even these running boards, all that, the front bumper, he made all that. The wheels, the tires. I had molds of everything on here. And I had detailed instructions on how to make that frame because I came over here as he was building the frame, took pictures and made an instruction manual on how to do that. So this was all at one time available in resin. And I will be making it available here real soon again. So if you guys want to do a big job like this, well, here's the masters right here. You will be building what we have right here is the originals and what we made the molds from.
And we also did, if you remember, instead of a twin screw, we also did a single drive.
That's
so you
right.
have the option of this with the Hoskins type suspension, which is all scratch built.
Yeah.
Or the single drive.
That's right. That's right. So we have.
So you have an option there.
All. That's right. All. If we can take a look at that.
You can
Spin that around. Take a look at this. Yeah, that's right. He scratch built everything to do a single and the dual axle, and I have molds of all of this. If you could see all the detail.
Want me to lay it over just a little bit?
Let's, if you got the guts, let's show this because this is all scratch built by Dave. This is nothing from a kit that you're about to see. I believe, where did we end up getting the wheels and tires from?
I believe they came out of that Dodge 700 kit.
That's right, yeah, and I took molds of that, but look at these. Look at that.
All the spring, all the suspensions.
All of that.
Everything.
Yeah, the overload. See that? That's all scratch built. And I made molds of all that stuff. But the real fun part, and as long as we're under here, we're going to look at this. Take a look at this. That's very heavily modified and a lot of scratch wheeling because, well, especially that transmission, that's all scratch built. And there's a mold of that too. And that engine, well, that's not just just not a Ford, any old Ford engine. It's not from any kit. So
take a real good look at the oil pan, because Ford used a high, big volume oil pan.
Yeah.
And you can't really notice too much, but it's there.
Yeah. Now let's flip this over and let's take a look at under the hood. So here we go with this engine. Now, yeah, it looks like a flathead. And I want to talk about something here before someone goes, hey, if you can see where the distributor is for this flathead. No, it is not incorrect. It did go in the back because this is not a Ford flathead. Talk about this engine, Dave.
It was a Lincoln. Ford used a Lincoln engine in this, and I took the original flathead. The Lincoln engine was a taller block and a wider block, and that's what I did with the block. The heads were thicker, so I made the heads thicker. The oil pan was all totally different than a stock oil pan, but of course it's hidden because of all the suspension pieces. And the distributor was in the back, so that's where the distributor wound up being. The air cleaner is all scratch built. Everything on this truck is scratch built except, or modified to one point or another, except for the hood.
Yeah.
The hood is the only thing I didn't touch.
Yep. Only thing. Everything else is all scratch. And so even looking at it, you see that what's that? Is that power steering pump right there?
Yeah.
Totally scratch built. Totally scratch built power steering pump.
That's a air compressor.
Air compressor.
Yeah, okay. That's a compressor for the brakes.
For the brakes. Yes. Okay. See how much I know. Yeah, I remember, he got so excited at building that Chevy, and he just wanted to keep on going with these big trucks. And
but these are my first two experiences of building a commercial type vehicle.
Pretty good job out of the box. But I remember from the beginning talking about this all the way to its creation. I mean, I sat side by side with him while he built this, because when he offered
that was a long-term project.
It was a long-term, but boy, oh boy, yeah, the end results were
build a couple, 2 or 3 parts, and I'd hand them over to you, and then you would deck them and make molds of them.
And you're even, you got a hold of one of those cabs, and you're doing something else with it right now that we may make another mold. What are you making?
For what?
For you took my resin cab.
Oh yeah, so I got 2 of them. One I'm making a cab over, and the other one is going to be a chop top pickup truck.
So what the heck? We might as well make molds of them. And I thought maybe we'd take a look at a couple of in progress before we step out of here. Some in progress projects. What do you got here?
Well, that was the Revell 32 Ford sedan kit, and that converted into a sedan delivery.
Oh, okay, I see.
And then here again, going stupid.
Let's see that engine.
We decided to do a V6 flathead. That Ford could have, but didn't. So
he's a whole lot into these phantom projects. The what ifs. That's so cool. That is what is so cool about this hobby. Is
anything goes because it's plastic.
It just doesn't matter. Who cares if it never happened? It happened in Dave's universe. That's what I say. That is cool. And a sedan delivery. And another one of his creations that is in progress. Had a little bit of problems with it, but we're going for a pro mod here.
Going for a pro mod. And the first thing you ask yourself, how come it's got such a flat hood for a pro mod? Is this guy out of his mind or what?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So,
let's see.
It's going to be electric powered.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, I remember we were talking about this, and Look at that. Something different. That's so cool. This isn't. He's been talking to me about this for like a couple of years.
Yeah, now you also did an electric powered street rod.
Oh, I want to see that. I have been wanting to see these electric powered cars that you were doing because I have an interest in doing an electric powered car. I want to see how he did his motors. That is so cool. Neato. Ingenious. That thing's going to be different. And it's just, yeah, different. That's the key. How neat is that? So we were going to wrap it up after taking a look at those in-progress models, but there was one he mentioned. I said, let's look at it because we got this cool little street rod. Got cool, neat little surfboards up on the top. But again...
Yeah, this started life as a Dan Fink 32 Ford.
Electric motor.
With an electric motor.
With an electric motor. Electric street rod. Yeah. That is just so cool.
I don't know if you can get a picture in the back window very well, but that back there is all the battery pack and all the good stuff.
Oh yeah. See, we get a light on there.
I guess you can't quite see it.
All the
Can you see it?
The battery pack. I don't know if we can get it.
I don't know if you can see it, but anyway, it's all back there.
Nah, we just can't see because
the
top is so chopped. The top is so chopped, but I guarantee you it's in there. Dave goes for it. He goes for it. But yeah, something different. Look at that. Had to take a look at that. And I'll tell you, one thing I gotta say is as I panned over all his models, there are so many unique builds he's done over the years. You could spend... I'd have to make 7 or 8 videos, and you're probably all going to put down in the comments, yeah, make those videos. You know what? I'll come back over here, and we'll show more of Dave's models if you guys want to see them.
You have to.
They are, yeah. Well, if the fans ask, we have to give them what they want. But we literally could be here for a couple of days just looking over all his models. His stuff is so unique and neat. And he churns. He's a model building factory here. He just churns them out. This guy is always building several a year. But just the imagination, it's just so cool. And I just enjoy his model so much, and I knew you guys would. So that's pretty cool. Well, there you go. That's Dave Bell. Dave, thank you so much for coming on the channel here. And, wow, we really enjoyed this.
Well, I sure appreciate you having me, Matt. I know you have a busy day ahead of you.
I got a lot of work ahead of me.
You know, I think it's Salvino time, buddy.
Me too.
I think we're ready for that.
All right. Well, let's just say bye to everybody.
Bye,
let's get
everybody.
On Take care. Keep on gluing those fingers together.
Let me do that.
Oh, you want to do that? Oh, right.
Glue those fingers together. Keep cutting that styrene, and we'll see you on the next video.
Oh, wow. You're the first one to nail it. You nailed it, Dave. You see, Dave's watching. Thanks a bunch. We'll see you guys. And here are my producers.